When darkness follows you, it's because light is within you. Have you ever felt like something invisible was following you, not a presence you can see, but one you can feel? Or a heaviness? A shift in energy when you enter a room? A strange pattern of chaos that seems too calculated to be coincidence? Let me tell you something that will change your life if you allow it to. What if I told you that when darkness follows you, it's not a curse, it's a calling? I've walked through jungles so thick with silence that I could hear my own soul breathe. I've meditated in abandoned temples where even the shadows seem to whisper. I've seen people crumble under invisible weight and others rise into their divine power after they faced it. So trust me when I say this, if demonic vibration follows you, it's because you are not ordinary. You are chosen. But we must start with what this really means. Most people hear demonic energy and think of horror movies, red eyes in the dark, or possessions. That's not what I'm talking about. The true demonic vibration is a frequency, it's a distortion of divine truth. It's like static noise in a song meant to be beautiful. And some of us attract that frequency not because we're weak, but because we are guardians of a truth so powerful, darkness wants to mute it. You see, not all signs of demonic presence are meant to destroy you. Some are meant to wake you up. The first sign is that your life feels like a battlefield, even when nothing is visibly wrong. You wake up tired, even after sleeping. You feel a strange pull towards self-sabotage. Opportunities fall apart at the last second. People misunderstand you. They betray you without cause. And worst of all, you begin to doubt your own light. But let me ask you something. If darkness wasn't afraid of you, why would it try so hard to confuse you? I want you to reflect on that deeply. There's a reason warriors are tested in battle. Your energy is being challenged because it carries the blueprint of transformation. And the demonic vibration, it senses it. It senses the frequency of your awakening. It senses the dormant codes in your DNA that, when activated, will ripple through every room you walk into. And that scares the darkness. Now let's go deeper. The second sign, you're more sensitive than others. You feel the emotions of rooms, the hidden suffering behind someone's smile, the lies in someone's voice, even if they're speaking sweetly. Most people think sensitivity is a weakness. But in the spiritual realm, sensitivity is how the divine speaks through you. It's how you detect frequencies that others are blind to. But here's the paradox. The more sensitive you are, the more vulnerable you become to these dark frequencies. Because they don't need to speak, they only need to distort. They twist your thoughts subtly. They make you feel like your pain is unique, like your suffering is a punishment. But it's not. It's a signal. You are a soul antenna. You pick up on energies others can't even name. But if you don't know how to transmute what you receive, you will drown in it. So what can you do? First, clean your inner space. Just like you wouldn't leave your house cluttered with trash, don't leave your mind full of fear, comparison, shame, or resentment. These are the doorways through which demonic vibrations enter. Every time you repeat a toxic thought, you are feeding a shadow. Every time you avoid your inner truth, you become a magnet for noise. Second, practice radical honesty. Demonic energy thrives in lies. It cannot survive in truth. So even if your truth is ugly, dark, shameful, speak it, write it, own it. Because when you do, you bring light into the space it once occupied. Now, the third sign, you often feel like you don't belong in this world. You feel like an alien, like your soul came from somewhere else. You look around and see people satisfied with shallow things, chasing temporary highs, and you feel disillusioned. You wonder if something is wrong with you. But here's a sacred truth. The demonic vibration follows those who carry ancient light code souls that are not native to this world, but came here on mission. Your disconnection is not a flaw. It is divine memory. You remember how things should feel. You remember the frequency of purity, love, and unity. And because this world is distorted, your soul aches for home. But your ache is not punishment, it's guidance. You are not here to escape this world. You are here to anchor something higher into it. And the demonic vibration follows you because you're a threat to the matrix of illusions. Let's go deeper still. The fourth sign, you are constantly tested through relationships. Lovers betray you. Friends abandon you. Family misunderstands you. You attract narcissists, energy vampires, people who drain you. Why? Because the demonic frequency works through others when it cannot reach you directly. It uses the people closest to you to mirror your wounds, to keep you in cycles of pain. But this is also your greatest opportunity. Every toxic relationship is a shadow teacher. Every betrayal is a portal to power. But only if you choose to ask the right question, what in me was still available to this energy? You see, it's not enough to blame others. You have to become spiritually self-responsible. If someone deceived you, ask why your intuition was ignored. If someone abused you, ask what unhealed part of you normalized it. This isn't victim blaming, it's soul reclaiming. When you stop outsourcing your power, the demonic vibration loses its grip, because it can only feed on what you haven't yet purified inside you. Now, the fifth sign, you've experienced unexplained phenomena. Maybe you've seen shadows move, heard voices when no one was there, had sleep paralysis, felt watched, or even had dreams that felt more real than waking life. These are not hallucinations. These are spiritual thresholds. The veil between worlds is thinner for you. You are not just living in this reality, you are bridging many. And the demonic vibration is more active in liminal spaces. It knows when a soul is waking up. It knows when your third eye is opening. And it tries to scare you back into sleep. But fear is a teacher. Every time you face it without running, you rise. Do not seek safety, seek clarity. Because true safety is not the absence of darkness, it's the presence of divine awareness. Let me ask you now, what if everything you feared in the dark was actually waiting to become your ally? Think about that. We're flipping the script. We're not running from shadows, we're integrating them. That's why the sixth sign is so powerful. You've become obsessed with purpose. You feel like your life must mean something more. You can't stand shallow living. You want to serve, to heal, to teach, to awaken others. That obsession is divine. But it also makes you a target. Demonic energy doesn't attack the lazy. It attacks the luminous. It distracts those with destiny. It tries to bury your calling under anxiety, addiction, procrastination, overthinking. But underneath it all, your soul is screaming to be activated. So how do we fight back? Not with hate, not with force, with frequency. You must become a master of vibration. You must learn how to command your energy like a sacred weapon. Because when your vibration is coherent, no darkness can enter. Meditate daily. Speak affirmations. Fast. Pray. Dance. Cry. Journal. Scream. Cleanse your space with smoke, sound, and silence. But more than anything, remember who you are. You are not the pain. You are not the fear. You are not the chaos following you. You are the light it's chasing. And finally, the seventh sign, you've survived things that should have broken you. You've walked through emotional hell. You've lost everything and still got back up. You've wanted to die, and yet here you are breathing, listening, awakening. That is not weakness. That is sacred endurance. The demonic vibration underestimated you. It thought your suffering would silence you, but it didn't know that your soul is ancient, that your spirit remembers lifetimes of war and peace, of fire and resurrection, that your presence on earth is not an accident, it's a revolution. So what now? Now you rise, not as a victim, not as a survivor, but as a spiritual warrior. You don't need to be free of darkness to be divine. You just need to remember your light is not here to avoid the shadows. It's here to lead them home. The shadow doesn't chase you, it mirrors you. Because this journey we're on, it's not just about identifying the signs that demonic vibration is following you. It's about understanding the sacred architecture behind why it chooses you. And more importantly, how you can transform that curse into your crown. This is where most people turn away, because it's easier to believe that the darkness is something foreign, something outside, something attacking us. But what if the parts of life that scare you the most are actually mirrors for the parts of yourself you haven't yet loved? What if the demon is not just an external presence, but a frequency of disowned self? Let me ask you something that will shake you if you truly listen. What part of you have you exiled to survive in this world? Was it your wildness, your joy, your truth-telling, your sensuality, your rage, your magic? Every time you were told to be quiet, polite, acceptable, small, you sent a part of your power into exile. And that power, when unacknowledged, becomes shadow. It becomes the very energy you now fear. The demonic vibration isn't just following you. It's echoing the disconnection within you. That's why it's a gift, because it's calling you home to yourself. What I've learned in my deepest spiritual initiations is this: the universe doesn't waste energy. Every dark encounter, every fear, every breakdown, it's all alchemical. But only if you're willing to feel it without flinching. But here's the twist. Most people think awakening means escaping the dark. No. Awakening means becoming so rooted in your light that you can walk into any shadow and stay sovereign. Let me tell you a story. I once sat in a monastery where monks practiced a ritual called feeding the demon. They would meditate on the darkest force they feared: addiction, grief, rage, jealousy, and instead of banishing it, they would invite it to tea. They would imagine it sitting across from them, looking them in the eyes. and they would ask it, "What do you need from me?" That question changed me, because no demon survives when it is seen without fear. No shadow can persist when it is met with love. You begin to realize that most of what you've been running from is your own unmet need for love. Let's break that down practically. When you feel a dark presence, whether it's in your thoughts, your emotions, or even in your space, don't suppress it. Don't judge it. Don't fight it from the same frequency. Name it. Acknowledge it. Ask it what it's here to teach. Because when you become the observer, when you become the conscious witness, you are no longer controlled by the vibration. You are now the one mastering it. This is spiritual Aikido. You're not resisting force with force. You're redirecting energy with presence. Let's return to those signs again, but from a higher lens now. When your life feels like a battlefield, it's not because you're cursed. It's because your aura is expanding into spaces where old energies no longer fit. And that friction, that's the resistance of lower dimensions trying to hold on. When you feel sensitive, overwhelmed, or emotionally porous, it's not weakness. It means your empathic channels are wide open. But you must learn to discern what's yours and what's not. Otherwise, you'll carry frequencies that were never meant for you. This is why spiritual hygiene is everything. Clean your energy field like you clean your body. Sage, sound bowls, salt baths, grounding in nature, even simple breath work. These aren't trends, they're ancient technologies. You are not powerless to energy. You are energy. And remember this, demonic vibration is not ultimate power, it's distorted power. It feeds on fear. It multiplies in confusion. But in clarity, in sovereignty, it dissolves, because clarity is truth, and truth is light. Let's talk about relationships again, because this is where many of us lose ourselves. When demonic energy works through others, it's not always because those people are evil. Sometimes they're just unconscious. Sometimes they're playing out the roles your soul needs in order to awaken. Think of the person who broke you the most. Now ask, if that pain never happened, would I have woken up? Pain is a ruthless teacher, but it doesn't lie. Betrayal teaches boundaries. Abandonment teaches self-love. Rejection teaches alignment. The demon comes not to destroy, but to expose where you are still leaking power. But here's the paradox. The moment you learn the lesson, the demon loses its contract. It no longer has a reason to stay. You break the cycle not by fighting what hurt you, but by becoming someone who no longer resonates with its frequency. Now let's talk about your obsession with purpose. You feel like you're meant for something big. You can't explain it. It feels like a fire in your bones. And yet nothing seems to click. You try, you fail, you doubt. Let me tell you something radical. The demonic vibration doesn't want to stop your purpose. It wants to delay it, because every delay drains your belief. Every failure chips at your confidence. Every doubt weakens your signal, but your purpose doesn't die. It waits. It waits for you to stop seeking permission and start walking your truth. Your soul mission is encoded in your essence. The very things you've survived, the addictions, the trauma, the heartbreak, the shadows, those are not your weaknesses. They are your credentials. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be real. You are here to turn your scars into sacred medicine. Now let's go even more mystical. Have you ever felt like you've lived this all before? Like your dreams are memories? Like your fears are ancient? That's not imagination. That's soul memory. The demonic vibration follows old souls because you've faced it before. In other lifetimes, in other planes, you've been a healer, a mystic, a rebel, a truth teller. And in many of those lives, you were silenced, burned, banished, betrayed. So in this life, the vibration tries to whisper, don't speak. Don't shine too bright. Stay small. Stay safe, but not this time. This time you remember. This time you rise. And here's the deepest truth of all. The demon you fear is only the part of you waiting to be freed. It's the voice that says you are not enough. It's the wound that says you are unlovable. It's the fear that says you will be alone forever. But none of that is true. You are more than enough. You are deeply loved, and you are never truly alone. Because within you is a lineage of light, a council of ancestors, a soul that has survived galaxies of chaos to bring this light into this world at this time. So now I ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped running from your shadow and started dancing with it? What would happen if you met every fear, every doubt, every vibration of darkness not with panic, but with presence? Because that's how you become untouchable, not by avoiding darkness, but by becoming so whole, there's no room for distortion to enter.